Well, today, as you know, there is no Wednesday Night War. Dynamite is still on Fridays temporarily. But for now, I decided to fill the void by reviewing the latest New Japan Pro Wrestling's Kizuna Road, but also added another promotion review from three events by the same promotion. I'm talking about New Japan's old rivals, but also one of the two oldest promotions in all of Japan. I'm talking about All Japan Pro Wrestling. So, let's get started with another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jay, right here. So, we continue with day 3 with Kizuna Road. This took place on the 16th of June, which is today. But it opened up with two. The two opening matches were in fact the Young Lions taking on veterans. Now, the first match we have Yuya Uemura taking on none other than the ace himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, Yuya Uemura is a bit tough guy, but however, you know for a fact there is no way he could win against a guy like the ace. However, Yuya Uemura did had Hiroshi Tanahashi in the Boston Crab, but he did not tap out. However, it was Tanahashi who put Yuya Uemura in the Texas Cloverleaf, and he tapped out. So basically, like Tanahashi, he's impressed. So basically, looks like he has a stamp of approval. Now the next match was Yota Tsuji, but this time he's taking on the Rainmaker himself, Kaguchika Okada. Now, it was a good, brutal match because the thing is, I have seen Yota Tsuji how he's evolved since being a young lion. He's the toughest he gets. He's always ready to fight, doesn't back down from anybody. But however, he had his work cut out against the Rainmaker himself. However, he was put in the the Rainmaker finisher, and that was it. But you know what I find kind of strange? Okada didn't give him like a stamp of approval if he did good. He just took off. I'm assuming either Okada has something on his mind or whatever is happening. But who knows? Now the next match we have Yuji Nagata teaming up with Tenkoji, which is Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima, taking on Great Bash Heel, finally reuniting uh, Tomoaki Hamna, and finally we haven't seen him for a while, Togi Makabe, teaming with none other than the Golden Star Kota Ibushi. Now the opening part of the match was amazing because both Nagata and Ibushi are both strikers, and it fits kind of perfectly. But however, if you notice also, both Kojima and um, Tenzan are a good tag team, taking on the Great Bash Heel, also a good tag team. It kind of fits perfectly, but however, it was Satoshi Kojima who made the victory for his team. I know there's history between the Great Bash Heel against Kojima, but however, Ibushi, he's the kind of guy who doesn't get involved too many in rivalries, but however, he shows respects to everyone, and that's when he leaves. Now, the next match we have, of course, Suzuki Goons, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, El Desperado, Zack Sabre Jr. taking on all four members of LIJ, Bushi, Sanada, Naito, and of course Shingo Takagi. However, the opening part of the ring entrance was so funny. The last event, I did not see this. Naito had Taichi sign a magazine with his picture on the cover with him and Zack Sabre Jr. Now, I don't know if he's playing mind games or he's just having a bit fun. I don't know. Apparently, there is one other person he wanted to get the attention, and that is Zack Sabre Jr. So, that was nuts. But, however, the match itself, there are some implications. Bushi, on the other hand, he still seems like he's still got his sights set on the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. But, however, Despy has to put it on the line against Ishimori. Now, I'm assuming that could take place later on, but we'll see what happens. But however, we do know that Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. are trying to avoid not to put the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles on the line against both Naito and Sanada. But it is what it is. Sanada pins Zack Sabre Jr., but they do earn a title shot. However, it was, I think, Kanemaru that put, what's his name? The Bushi in the pinfall 1, 2, 3, and of course in the post match Naito got what he wanted, an autograph from Zack Sabre Jr., and he took off. I don't know what dangerous techers are thinking, but they know that Naito's up to no good. So whatever it is, it's gonna be very interesting to watch. Now the main event is the 10-man tag team match, the 10-man tag team elimination match. However, this one does have implications. On one corner, we have the Bullet Club. 5 members involved in championship status. We have Taiji Shimori and El Fantasma gunning for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. Then you got Evil, Dick Togo, and Yujiro Takahashi taking on the current never openweight 6-man tag team champions. So we have all those champions from the Chaos side. On that, we have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team champions, Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo, teaming with the other 3 members of Chaos, Yoshihashi, Ishii, and Goto, who are the current never openweight 6-man tag team championships. Now, this match was basically, you can guess, it's going to be a lot of tactics, a lot of tricks by mostly from Bullet Club, and you can guess that's how they played out, because they want to send a message that those titles are going home to the Bullet Club. Now, it's still unclear when those matches will take place, but I will keep an eye out on that when we get a chance. Now, before I end this part, I want to keep a note on what's been going on with New Japan. As you guys may or may not have been aware, we were supposed to have Wrestle Grand Slam in 2 different locations. One in Tokyo at the Tokyo Dome, and the other at the MetLife Dome down in Yokohama. However, now it's been set that those 2 venues are now ready to have people come in. The Tokyo event will take place on the 25th of July, while the MetLife Dome will take place on the 4th and 5th of September. Now, I'm assuming that some of the championship matches will take place on one of those days, but we'll see where they're going to go. There's no announcement coming from New Japan when it's going to happen, but I do know they did announce for the 25th, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line on that day. So this is going to be interesting to watch. So let's keep moving with All Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, it's been a while since I did an All Japan Pro Wrestling review with, if I don't remember when was the last time, but however, I decided to throw in 3 events. Now, the first one I'm gonna do is from the Dream Power Series 2021, Day 1. This one's on the 6th of March, which passed a couple of months ago. The opening match was Ryzen Hayato taking on Akira Francisco. Interesting matchup because these 2 guys are junior heavyweights. However, it was Ryzen Hayato who picked up an amazing victory against Akira Francisco, and Akira Francisco didn't see it coming. The pin was so all of a sudden, but he won. And I think Akira wanted to file a protest, but the referee called it as it is. He didn't cheat, but it did happen. Next match, we have a tag team match. We got Blackman Sori and Taikao Omori taking on Ruki Honda and Yoshitatsu. Now, this is a very interesting matchup because Roki Honda, he is currently, how do I say, kind of like their young boy, the young boy of the group. So basically, that kind of played a factor, but it did allow for Black Mansoor to put him in a submission to have him tap out. So basically, the young lion was the weakest link, and they used that. That's how they won their match. The next match we have Kuma Arashi taking on Sushi Ishikawa. Now, this was a very interesting match because we have two heavy hitters. Yes, you heard me right. Two heavy hitters. Now, Kuma Arashi, I just found out he's part of a new faction that was formed a while back called Total Clips. Now, he seems like the guy who could get the job done, but however, Suji actually was able to overcome every pound and attack he he was able to pull on them, but no. So Shuji actually pulled it off greatly. So he picked up the victory, and of course, he's going to be coming up in the next one, but we'll talk about that later. Now, the next match we have Next Ram, consistent of Atsuki Aoyagi, his brother Yuma Aoyagi, who's one of the tag team champions, along with Kento Miyahara, taking on Purple Haze, consistent of Azanagi, Shigehiro Iri, and of course the leader of Purple Haze, Zeus. This match was so crazy. Now, the reason I say this, all of these guys, mostly from Shigehiro and of course Zeus, they're two of the heavy hitters. But I think the part that kind of got me going is when Zeus was clotheslining multiple times. What's his name? Yuma Aoyagi. It was so nuts. I think he might have closed on him somewhere between 3 or 4 times. That would have put him in a head injury. And of course, because of that, he pinned him. However, it appears that they have something that they want, which is Kento and Yuma are the current tag team champions. Another set of titles. I think it's the Asian titles. I'm not. Hold on, let me look it up because I'm a little lost for those which ones they carry. Hold on. Oh no, no. Oh yeah, this is for the World Tag Team Champ. That's what they want, and of course that's what it is. There's two different type of tag team championships in all Japan. One is the World Tag Team Championship, and the other one's the All Asian Tag Team Championship, which currently Purple Haze has. So basically, they're trying to collect every belt possible. Now, I don't know if that match will ever happen, but we'll see down the line because I'm a little behind on this promotion. Now we got a 10-man tag team elimination match again, but like I said, this one was back in March. We have members of Evolution, Dan Tamura, Akira Sato, and Suwama teaming with Koji Iwamoto and Shotaro Oshino, taking on the faction Total Eclipse, consistent of Okudo Omori, Taiji, Yusuke Koroma, Koji Doi, and of course Jake Lee. This is one of those matches where, of course, Total Eclipse. Now, from my understanding, Total Eclipse is a brand new faction. They were known as the Something Terribles. When they kicked out Shotaro, out of the faction and Jake Lee joined. However, they renamed themselves. So now Total Eclipse is like the force to be reckoned with, and that's what they did. However, they were able to win this match by eliminating every of the opposing team one by one. So that is something we got to pay attention about this faction. So practically, I'll keep following it up. Now, before I end it here, I want to put out another note that I put out. This event has 5 days. However, I was only able to find um, 2 days of it. I won't be able to review the second day, which took place on the 8th, the third day on the 14th, and the fifth day on the 26th. So I only got the first and fourth day. So I apologize to everyone who watches this. The reason is I say this is because I use this web page called Watch Pro Wrestling, where it has a bunch of the All Japan shows, and I watch it from there. So I won't be able to see that, but I'll try to catch up as much as possible. So I apologize. Um, I didn't expect that they will not have the whole thing, but we'll see what happens down the line when if they plan to put more or things like that. This next event is a one match event. This one's called Blood Fight. Jun Kasai is Shuji Ishikawa. Crazy Monkey versus Giant. This took place on the 18th of March. This is for the Gaora television title that becomes a glass board barbed wire TLC Alpha Death match. This is between challenger Shuji Ishikawa and Jun Kasai, who is the champion. Now, you probably say this, why did they separate this event? Well, I don't know. Frankly, I don't think All Japan would allow to have a death match involved in any of their upcoming events, like the Dream Power Series. I don't think they would want that. I think they wanted that on its own. But the match was crazy. Now, Jun Kasai, I've seen him many times over. I've seen him on Freedoms. He is a deathmatch wrestler, and it made perfect sense why he was involved. However, this title he actually held it for months when he defeated Yoshitatsu in a hardcore match, which was sanctioned in All Japan. Death matches are not. However, All Japan made that its own separate show, and it worked. But you probably would have guessed there was lot of sharp toys, and you see people bleeding on both sides. It happened. Now, from me, I would have assumed Jun Kasai was gonna win this because he has the far more experience in the death matches. But however, this match was not that case. Sushi, Suji, Shuji actually pulled it off. He was able to overcome the match. He actually beaten Jun Kasai, and he became the new Gaora Television champion. Now, Jun Kasai probably is not a happy camper, but of course he lost fair and square. Now, do I predict it could have a rematch? Possibly. Would it be a straight match? Don't know. But hopefully down the line we'll see what happens. Or there's the obvious. Who will step up to challenge Ishikawa for that title? So we just gotta wait and see. Now let's go with the other Dream Power Series. Okay, so we're in Dream Power Series 2021, day 4. Like I said, I apologize that I won't be able, don't have a lot on day 2, day 3, and day 5. So this is what we get. So this one was a different venue. Opening match was Akira Francisco taking on the member of Total Eclipse, Yosuke uh, Yosuke Koroma. As you can guess, Kodama is a very intimidated wrestler, very dangerous, and of course, you can tell that with him, he is on an unstoppable force to begin with. Now, I'm not sure if he's currently part of the junior heavyweight division, but we'll see what happens. But he picked up a very impressive win. The next match we have Evolution Dan Tamura and Hikaru Sato teaming with what's his name? Shotaro Ashino taking on Black Mensori, Tokao Omari, and the newly crowned Gaora, Gaora TV champion uh, Shuji Ishikawa. This is one of those matches where now we're seeing who will be the strongest of them all. Evolution has proven they can be a very interesting faction. However, it was Hikaru Sato who pulled up the victory when he put what's his name, Black Mensura in the armbar. So basically, he made him tap out. Great match. The next match we got Ruki Honda teaming with Koji um, Iwamoto taking on Katsuakai Ira, he Mihara and Zeus. Now, this was unusual for me to see Zeus with another wrestler that's not even part of the faction. But however, he did put up his usefulness to with Zeus because the dude is a big dude, and that kind of helped. But however, it was Zeus that put uh, Ruki in a submission to make him tap out. So Zeus is another one of those wrestlers we gotta pay attention. He's a force to be reckoned with. Now I'm not sure if he will challenge for the Triple Crown Champion one day, but we'll see when that happens. Next match we have Next Rim, consistent of Atsuki Aoyagi, Ryzen Hayato, Yuma Aoyagi, and Kento Miyahara, taking on Total Eclipse, Kodu Omori, Taijiri, Kuma Arashi, and Jake Lee. Now this is one of those matches that I say that the Total Eclipse is one of the most newer factions. This is now where we're seeing Total Eclipse are now making a name for themselves, being a force of nature that cannot be reckoned with. So basically, that's what's been happening. However, they did decided to mock Kento Miyahara because he does this when it comes to interacting with his fans. When there's this, he does that with the fans. The clap. He's like doing the same thing. So they were mocking him. The reason is this: Kento is one of their top wrestlers they have. So basically, that looks like they have a target on him. But however, you could guess that Total Eclipse has been having a great winning opportunities. They did pin. I think who did they pin? I think they pinned Yuma on this one, and it was a 1-2-3. Total Eclipse won the match. Now the next match, this is a championship match. This is for the NJPW World Junior Heavyweight title. This is consistent of Purple Haze member Azanagi versus Shima. The match was, to me, very good. It wasn't one of the best, but I did enjoy it. And I would have assumed Izanagi could have won. But however, it's Shima who's continued to make headways no matter where he goes. So he retained the title when he put Izanagi out. However, during the post-match, he received a little visit from a member of Evolution. We're talking about Hikaru Sato. Now, since there is no translation in this event, It doesn't take a genius to figure out what is Hikaru Sato doing outside. My guess is he is becoming the next challenger for that title. Now, I'm not sure if he is the part of that weight class, but if he is, then good for him. And if Shima accepts, then we'll see where it goes. Now, the main event was none other for the Triple Crown Championship between Yoshitatsu taking on Suwama. Awesome match. What I like about this, Yoshitatsu is determined to beat Suwama. He put him many times over in submissions. To no avail, he was unsuccessful, and it played out pretty well. Suwama is a fighting champion, but somehow he was able to overcome Yoshitatsu and put him out. I think he put him in a power bomb, and then boom, 1, 2, 3, it's over. Now, my initial assumption, I thought he would have, how do I say this, had a challenger for the Triple Crown Championship, but I guess I was wrong. So we just gotta wait and see. Now, the upcoming events after this is the Champion Carnival, which is their version of when we see the G1 Climax. So they do that same thing. I must warn you, only a couple of days of those are not in part of the Watch Pro Wrestling link, but I'll review those little by little. I don't want to put the whole thing up together, but we'll see where we're gonna go from that. Well, I hope you guys enjoy me reviewing All Japan Pro Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, before I go, some of you are saying, aren't the names kind of similar? I'm going to give you guys a brief history. Both founders actually knew each other in the past. Antonio Inoki and Shohei Giant Baba, they're both wrestlers from the same promotion, Japan Pro Wrestling Alliance. However, when they left that promotion, they were a bit of dispute between both of them, like what direction they wanted to go to. New Japan has the strong style, and of course, All Japan has King's Road. Now, you probably would ask me, will I ever compare both styles? I will do a DWZ discussion for all of you to compare it, but there's also another style, but this one is coming from none other to Pro Wrestling Noah. I forgot the name of it, but I'll let you guys know when will that video happen. Now, stay tuned for the next episode. I have NXT UK and of course Impact Wrestling. But I'll add in another Japanese wrestling or two events, maybe to fill up the void. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time in the same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day.